All right, they took my Clipse Kendrick verse away.
Did they? That shit was fire, yo.
Clipse dropping their first album in 16 years was always going to be a big deal, but the way this album has come out has made it way more than just about the music. And when you really look at it, it starts to say something about the industry too. From leaked verses to rooftop listening parties and quiet exits from major labels, everything feels like it was part of a plan. But whether it was or it wasn't, that's not really the point. And now that the album's out, it's like Clipse never took a break. This album might rival Hell Hath No Fury, and the guest verses are insane. But before we get to that, it's worth taking a look at how we got here, because the Clipse rollout of this album has also been insane, and so are the reasons behind why they've taken a decade-and-a-half-long hiatus. In June of 2024, Clipse premiered a song during the Louis Vuitton fashion show in Paris.
But here's the elephant. You chasing a feature out of your element. And those lab diamonds under inspection. The question marks block your blessings. It's no tombstones in the desert. I know by now you get the message.
As many people know, Pharrell is the men's creative director at Louis Vuitton and produced the entire album at the LV headquarters. And this is one of the many narratives and storylines that have been weaved throughout the rollout of this Clipse album.
We recorded this whole project at the Louis Vuitton headquarters in Paris.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So like,
oh, wow.
We would like, basically just took the, where they would, you know, sketch and sew and
and so just like like different levels of inspiration.
The moment felt more like a fashion announcement than a music one, but the song in the background had people asking questions. The beat was new, and Pusha T was walking the runway in full Louis V, and the footage started circulating online almost immediately. It's all some surreal mashup of coke rap and high fashion.
The Clipse is making
but this is
the grimiest, grungiest.
And but that's the fly shit. That's the fly shit about this rollout. Even doing the New York Times, even though I'd obviously rather have them come talk to us and tell us these stories, it places it in a different place.
Yes.
This is not just some hip hop shit. Like, no, we're gonna go sit with fucking art critics and we're gonna tell an entire story about this shit.
There was no official title or release date, but the rollout had already started. And then in August of 2024, Pusha told the Ghetto Runways podcast that the album was done.
I'm so excited about this new Clipse album.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm on right now.
Yeah.
It's absolutely finished. Just waiting on a feature. Man, I just created a masterpiece with my brother.
You did, man.
Like,
so good.
Something like something so crazy. And it's like,
by October, Clipse signed to Def Jam, which Pusha had already been signed to as a solo artist under the Good Music imprint. Pusha then left Good Music, but was still under Def Jam through his label, Airwave Music. And this deal made it clear that the Clipse return wasn't just a one-off. Then in January of 2025, Pusha deleted all of his Instagram posts, which in recent history has come to mean that a new album is coming or some announcement is coming. And in February, Pusha would also drop a snippet titled Mike Tyson Blow to the Face, which was featured in Skateboard P's new short film, All Day I Dream About Sport. And in April, Pusha would send this eerie message out into the rap world.
It's a f***ing sicko, man. Look at this sicko, man. Oh, it's great too. See? Big difference. When I'm smiling like that, that means that it's a big difference between me and you. Fuck y'all up, man. I can't wait. I'm gonna fuck y'all up. I hate y'all so bad.
On May 30th, the album was officially titled Let God Sort 'Em Out, and Clipse released the first full track, Ace Trumpets. The announcement came with Cause-designed cover art and a cinematic trailer that matched the grand tone of the rollout.
Cause did their merch.
Right.
Yeah.
And it ain't just a couple tees.
Right.
No, but what,
it's art Hey, their vinyl packaging, Cause did that. Like, it's art.
Art aside, people immediately dissected the lyrics. In the second verse of the song, Push rapped, "Look at them, him and him, still waiting on Yeezy. I hope you got your squeegee." And fans immediately began speculating that the line was a shot at Kanye, who had spent years trying to become the men's creative director at Louis V, a job Pharrell now held. Pusha had already spent the better part of a decade in Kanye's orbit after Clipse split up in 2010, and though the Clipse reunion began during the 2019 sessions for Jesus is King, the direction of the project quickly became a point of tension. Kanye had reached out to Malice through Pusha, and the duo ended up recording several tracks together, including the original version of Follow God, which Kanye later pulled back for himself. In interviews since, Push said it felt like they were finally building something, but that too much was happening inside the Ye camp to stay on track. He called it a stumble, said it wasn't just about getting the verses done, it was about timing, clarity, and not being stuck under someone else's umbrella. And this is one of the many moments where the rollout began to overlap with real-world tensions between former collaborators, sparking headlines and commentary across blogs and social media. Instead of responding with a verse or a post, Kanye tweeted, "I miss me and Push's friendship," and deleted the message less than an hour later. But screenshots had already started circulating, and by the afternoon, the tweet had been picked up by sites like Complex, Hip Hop DX, and Rap Caviar. Then Push gave an interview to GQ where he confirmed that Kendrick Lamar's verse had delayed the album and said that Def Jam's parent company, Universal Music Group, had asked him to remove it. In the interview, he said, "They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing," he said. "And then they wanted me to take the record off. And so, after a month of not doing it, Steve Gawley, the lawyer over there, was like, we'll just drop the clips. But that can't work because I'm still there solo. But if you let us all go," and that's exactly what happened. The reason behind the rift is that Drake is currently suing Universal over Kendrick's Not Like Us, which he claims has been defamatory and that the label has profited off of a song that completely throws the Six God under the bus and accuses him of some very unsavory things. In that same GQ interview, Push responded with indifference, saying, "If Drake's adamant to have a lawsuit, it's only because he knows all the things that they did to suppress everything that was happening around Adidon and the verses and the records and things that were happening back then. I don't rate him no more. The suing thing is bigger than some rap stuff. I just don't rate you." Damn. It's like it just kind of cheapens the art of it once we gotta have real questions about suing and litigation. Like what? For this? In the end, Def Jam released Clipse, which the label caught a ton of flack from in the media.
Go ahead. Def Jam ain't been Def Jam since I was at Def Jam. Def Jam has always been Def, D-E-A-F, Jam.
Def Jam should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, record labels censoring artists. What happened to my freedom of speech?
By the end of the week, Clipse were announced as new signees to Jay-Z's label Roc Nation. And while no official statement explained the switch, Pusha liked a tweet that said, "Sometimes the next step is the only one they leave you." And according to Pusha's manager, Victor Vaughn, the split wasn't cheap. In an interview with Billboard, Vaughn said that it got to the point where the conversation became, "You can't keep stopping this guy from being able to put out his art. He's a rapper." So they said, "Find another deal and let's figure out a business." They didn't drop us. They were like, "Pay us this money," which was an exorbitant amount of money, a ton of money, "and we'll let you out the deal." That's what happened. We paid them the money, an insane amount of money. It wasn't like $200,000. It was a lot of money for an artist to come up with. They bought themselves out of the deal. And this is one of the many shifts that made the album feel less like a comeback and more like a confrontation. The project was still on the way, but now it had left the building. And with Clipse signed to Roc Nation, it would make the possibility of a Jay-Z feature that much more likely.
And, I mean, not to start the rumor mill up again, will it be a whole verse on there?
Then, a few weeks before the album's release, Clipse held a listening party on the rooftop of LV headquarters in Paris during Fashion Week, overlooking the Seine River and surrounded by models, designers, and a few names from the press, which made the event feel like a cross between a runway show and a private sermon.
All of the distinguished energy, distinguished taste buds, and distinguished ears for joining us tonight on the rooftop of the LV headquarters for a night for you to enjoy, you know, this music. It's an homage to the fact that we made all this music right downstairs, right on the water, and you're gonna see the Seine River is very inspiring.
Guests were reportedly asked to leave their phones at the door, but someone managed to record a portion of Kendrick Lamar's verse, and by the morning of June 23rd, TMZ had posted the footage with a headline that mentioned both the leak and the energy in the room. The clip ran for less than a minute and had been filmed from a side angle, but it was clear enough to hear Kendrick's voice, and that was all it took. The clip began circulating in the early hours and had already been posted to several major rap blogs by the afternoon, including sites like TMZ, which confirmed that the footage had come from the rooftop of the LV headquarters in Paris. And even though the audio was muffled and the camera was off to the side, Kendrick's voice was clear enough to recognize, and this is one of the many leaks that have shaped the story of this rollout. Within hours, fan pages started adding subtitles and posting slowed-down versions, and by the evening, several YouTube channels had uploaded full breakdowns with thumbnails of the rooftop party and headlines that asked whether the label would try to bury the verse. The clip was removed the following day under a copyright claim, and no one from Clipse, Kendrick, or Def Jam had posted any response. But by then, Genius had already uploaded partial lyrics. I'm not the candidate to vibe with. I don't F with the kumbaya shiz. All that talent must be God sent. I sent your ass back to the cosmics. Let's be clear, hip hop died again. Half of my profits may go to Rakim. How many Judases done let me down? But F it, the West mine, we right now. Therapy showed me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a fuck. Is Kendrick making another jab at Drake here? Is it Drake he sent back to the cosmics? We'll get into that in a second. But when we talk about this new Clipse album, with all the record label beef and leaks and high fashion hip hop fusion, we also have to talk about the reasons behind why Clipse broke up to begin with. Because it also comes down to their beef with the industry about feeling exploited and not having creative control anymore.
Back to the hotel, and we're in the elevator, and I told my brother, I said, you know, I'm not gonna be able to continue doing this. I knew what he was feeling.
Yeah.
The whole time.
How would you describe what it was he was feeling?
Oh, he was, man, he felt cheated. He felt cheated, you know, in every sense.
Mm-hmm.
In
By
every
business.
sense. Yeah, by the business, for sure. We were cheated.
Mm-hmm.
We were cheated. You know, with that being the case, it was a fight that we didn't really need to be fighting.
After their split in 2010, Malice changed his name to No Malice and wrote a book that talked about family, fear, and the things that made him want to change, titled Wretched, Pitiful, Poor, Blind, and Naked. He turned to Christianity, writing, I was foolish enough to spend $30,000 on a Jesus piece when the whole time Jesus was free.
It is.
And how much of the decision to step away from hip hop then was like a moral one to you? Were those things connected? Did you feel like you were putting bad energy into the world? You know, did you feel like there was something unholy about what you were doing as the Clipse?
For me, myself, yeah, definitely. Like, I had become, if you ask me, quite friendly with the world.
In fact, despite Push's subsequent solo success, many critics have said Malice has the superior lyricism. Push has embraced it, rapping, "Say my brother better? Big deal. Second fiddle to my own gene pool. We laugh about it, that's cool. I'm at the top and he better. If you think about it, we rule." But Malice needed the time off.
All this time off, it has been a beautiful time of reflection, growth, learning. Not only that, but as I'm sitting back and made my departure, I'm watching so many people falter with what I was going through. I'm watching it. You know what I'm saying? I see sorrow. I see depression. I've seen murders. You know what I'm saying?
Drug addiction.
You're seeing Rico.
Which brings us to the album itself.